The subject we're dealing with today that I think a lot of us want to deal with, and a lot of us probably think about, but not really talk about it, or we talk about it privately amongst ourselves, is how do you let a person down that you don't necessarily like on a romantic level, but you think that they're a cool person, and you trying to spare their feelings, but at the same time you want to set your boundaries. So
How to let them down easy, basically.
how to let them down easy, because with me, I think that the downfall that I've had in my experiences in life is that I've been too straightforward, and
Hmm.
a lot of times you can't. It's a way to give somebody the dignity of telling them you're not really interested in them, but at the same time, sparing their feelings and not creating animosity. And that because rejection can be something that you can hurt a person, and in
It
some
can be
cases,
traumatic.
it can be traumatic, and it can cause a person, down spiral. Because a lot of times, I think the core of the rejection is when I see somebody, or we see somebody. A lot of us, we see somebody we like, we see somebody we're interested in. I think a lot of times we already create the story in our head of being with them. So we go with them and having a relationship with them in our head, but not really realizing that that's not reality a lot of times.
Right, right.
So when in your mind you like this person and you imagine that this person like you back, and you got this story, this drama going on in your head of this quote unquote happily ever after of being together. But in reality, when you ask this person didn't like you like that. And I think the core of that rejection is us setting up unrealistic expectations in a person that we like, but may not necessarily like us. So, how do you, as an individual, you know, handle that delicacy of you know a woman approaching you? She cool, but she not what you looking for.
Me, I handle it different. Being that I've been in the public eye pretty much all my life,
Yeah.
um, in some shape, form, or fashion. And when you in the public eye, whether you popular dancing, rapping, singing, DJing, or whatever, when you're in the public eye and people watching you constantly, you're gonna have what they call crushes. And a crush tends to feed into generosity different than a person who just know you for who you are.
Right.
So 8 times out of 10, like you were saying, if they plant a vision of y'all going together in their head, they admired you from the jump.
Right.
And the fact that you showed them any type of attention drew them closer to you.
Right.
And that has happened. But being that once I learned at a young age, like I'm gonna say 13, 16, up in that's how people do,
Right.
crushes do, I slowly start knowing what to look for. Um, the gestures, the constantly being close to you, um, the touchy feely when they talk to you. They want to touch on your shoulder and rub on your hand. They want to know your business,
Right.
and somebody call, who is that? I bet that's one of your women, and I bet you got a lot of women. You have to look for the words, the phrases, and when you see that, the let down easy is you feed off sometime into that. Say, no, that ain't really my woman, but that's one of my lady friends.
Right.
So then they'll look like, oh, okay, so he got a lady friend.
Right.
And so that's why I preach all the time. to the people I mentor, the people I talk to about relationships, keep everything straightforward. You can't sugarcoat nothing. And if you got that admirer and you want to let them down easy, even if you don't have a girlfriend, you have a girlfriend. Even if you don't have a girlfriend, you have a lady friend. Well, we're talking right now. I got somebody that I'm talking to. We're not serious yet, but I have somebody that I'm talking to. And
Right.
that way they'll kind of back instead of saying, it's not that type of party. You not my type. We don't rock like that.
Right.
Those are the hurting phrases. But when you go back and say, well, yeah, I got a friend girl, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where it's going, but I got somebody that I'm talking to, even if you ain't got nobody, even if it's somebody you're thinking about pursuing. It is always when you got those admirers like that, it's best you kind of make them think it's somebody else. That way you don't have to say, you're not my type.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I mean,
Yeah. Because it seems like that's the nature of human beings is that, and what I've experienced dealing with women is that women don't want what other women don't want. It seems that human beings, just period, want what they can't have sometimes, or want what other people have. And when they do the pursuing of that individual, uh, sometimes it can work out for their favor, and sometimes it don't. But when it don't, it just seems on the flip side with the rejection, how rejection can cause somebody to the extreme point to, you know, contemplate taking their life because they can't handle rejection in life. Uh, how do you could you detect and know how to the level of sensitivity that you need to kind of let a person down so you can kind of mitigate or lessen and letting that person know how would you do in a situation you know this person like you, but how do in that situation
I
you know how
mean,
to get
I'm
up
different. Like I say, I've been faced with that forever since a teen. So
yeah
I'd have mastered it. When they say we would make a good couple, you know what I'm saying?
hmm
And then I'll say something like, I'd rather be friends, but I'll say it in a we too close of a friend. We're too close friends, especially if they start out telling you their business.
right
Oh, I used to talk to John and he did this, and then I went on and over there and I talked to Said. So when they telling me too much of their business, and a lot of times, even if I'm interested, when I hear some of the stories they tell, I lose interest. I'm a
why
Gemini, I
why
lose interest.
why is that why is that what is it about them divulging information to you like that
I
what is
don't care to, I've never been one to care to hear your relationship or sexual past.
okay
That's kind of a turnoff to me, especially if I know the person you were with. That's
right
just it's weird, but being that I always kind of been a loner to myself, uh, I have associates and affiliates more than friends.
right
So um, my experience with that is people love bragging. He think he got himself something. I used to bang her this way. My partner had her that way. My brother did this to her. We ran trains on. So I just I like to keep myself. I don't care to hear that. I just like to keep myself isolated and who I'm talking to. I don't really care about your past.
right
You know what I'm saying? But if your past leaks to me before I get to know you, I know how to deal with you. Even though you may be in a changing stage, my mental is still my mental.
right
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, you done went and had all these people. Now you're coming to me as a changed woman. I really don't want to be with somebody who everybody then had. That's
right
just me. So when that type of person try to push up on me, I tell them we're better off friends. Whether we've already had a sexual relationship, they can't be my woman
right
because they've been with too many people. And with me being popular and having a lot of haters, they can't wait to say what they did to my girl.
Right.
especially like when you got at least 5 or 6 and they an all hitter, and then you walking around with your head up in the air thinking you got yourself something, and everybody like, man, we used to, we think he
Right.
got himself
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Not saying that that people don't make mistakes and grow up, because hell,
Right.
I did it. I've been, I did some things. But on the
Right.
same note, I just can't digest that. Not taken away from that person that done
Right.
changed. I couldn't deal with it because
Right.
of my mental, what I've been through from a child to now. I,
Right.
I, I couldn't do it. Not saying, I credit the person that changed. I just can't be that person in their life.
Yeah. You think that rejection can be traumatic and it can
To
set
some,
a person course in life that because I know some people just can't handle. It's like um, some people do the strangest things, man, just to be accepted.
I
Some
want to
people
tell you
make a
about
fool
the
out of
rejection.
themselves, so they don't want to feel left out, or they don't want to feel. It's just not even the scope of a relationship. Just being within a group, because as human beings by nature we're sociable beings. But if you feeling rejected or ouched, they can set a course in your mind. So what do you the core of that? So
The core of that,
yeah,
to me, from personal experience,
yeah,
the person that feels like that is one who don't love themselves.
right,
I was taught at a young age to love myself. Mom used to always say, people talk about Jesus, they gonna forever talk about you. I used to get in a lot of fights growing up and come home with nice polo shirts tore up, and this when I was like in elementary, early junior high. And so you have to learn to love yourself. And a lot of people say, well, you love yourself, love the creator, love yourself. And if the creator is for you, you shouldn't care who's against you.
right,
So I learned to love self. So I don't need the alphas. I don't need the omegas. This just me though, to
right,
make me feel validated
right,
on earth. I don't need a female to make me feel validated. All I need is myself, self-love. So the one that want to kill themselves or the ones who can't accept rejection, it's something wrong with self-love. Because if you love yourself, it doesn't matter.
right.
And I always had self-love. So
Wayne, what
um,
how do you love? What is your definition of loving yourself?
accepting who you are,
Hmm.
accepting what you are, and that you aren't, that you want to be, go through the steps to change it.
Right.
Focus on yourself. I don't need a group of people to make me feel like I'm somebody.
Hmm.
All I need is myself. I don't knock the people that need to be in a group. Just like people have to go to church to feel spiritually connected. I don't. I have a connection with the creator. I don't have to go to church every Sunday, put on a suit and whatever, come as you are now, but throw on a suit, jump around on Sunday just to feel the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. I feel
Right.
good about myself, and that lasts till you get home
Hmm.
3 or 4 hours. Then back Monday evening, you're back grinning and sinning. I don't need that. It's
Right.
in me. So I always believed in things, a lot of things being mental.
Hmm.
That's just me. And people be like, it's not all. A lot of things we go through are mental. A lot of them. Not saying everything 100%, but I'd say about 75% of the depressions and everything we feel is mental. It's up here. And you're beating yourself up. You're beating yourself down. So you feel like that.
Right.
Put on some uplifting music. Put on a show that used to make you feel good, a movie that used to make you feel good back in the day.
Right.
When I clean up or I'm brainstorming, I throw on old school music where it takes me back to when I was 12,
Right.
13, smelling the
Yeah.
pine oil in mom's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't clean up to this new music. When
Right.
I'm digging through stuff, throwing things away, doing a thorough spring clean or a winter clean, I have to throw on old school.
Right.
playing the baby and NBA Young Boy and Gucci Man.
Yeah.
That don't move me. I'll be all day, all day. But when
Right.
I throw on that SOS band, that
Yep.
Prince, that
Yep. Yep.
Time
Yeah.
stuff my mom used to listen to
Yeah.
when I was that age, when I was cleaning up age, that motivates me. So all that's from self-love. I don't need nobody to say I love you. I'm more of a show me you love me type
Right.
person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, so a
Have
lot
you?
of that is
Yeah.
mental.
Have you ever, not to cut you off, but just an
Mhm.
idea, a thought. Have you ever had to talk anybody quote unquote off the ledge, as far as
Oh,
them giving up on
yeah.
themselves? Not necessarily I'm taking my
Mm-mm.
life,
No,
but
no, no. Right.
like,
My
man, I'm,
partner,
I'm
I
in the
got a
I'm
partner.
in the dust.
I got a partner that I'm down with right now. And we actually we text each other today,
Yeah.
and he know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name, but I'll tell you his situation. He
Yeah.
was on um he was on house arrest. Uh, he was going through hell in his relationship. Uh, Actually, his relationship was over, but he was living with his girlfriend at the time. They're married now. But they was on the rocks. He had lost his job. He on house arrest. Money looking funny. He was in the dumps, and he was like, he just felt like his back was up against the wall, and he really didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so I texted him a long text, and then he called me, and I was just like, it can't rain all the time. It's raining right now. Don't give up. The sun gonna eventually come out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have clouds. That's all part of the sky. That's
Right.
all part of the weather. It's gonna be clouds. It's gonna be rainy days. It's gonna be sunny days. You just gotta wait through it. And I say, look deep within you and think about what you did wrong to anybody. It could be your mom, your sister, your cousin, your neighbor,
Right.
whatever, and ask for forgiveness.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And you'll feel in your heart when it's a sincere forgiveness.
Right.
And he did that. And right now, I think he went through his stuff for another maybe year,
Mhm.
and he ended up getting off of the house arrest, working for radio station. He doing his thing now. Popular DJ.
Right.
Everything he touches winning right now. But
Right.
at first, everything was down in the gutter. He married the girl. They straightened everything out. Him and the lady got married. They happy. But he was going through that downward spiral where he felt like just throwing in the towel. He was like, man, I could care less if I wake up tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, when I heard him say
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay,
Real.
all jokes aside, you need to reach out to this brother because that could have been a cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though he talking to me, it could
Yeah.
have been a cry. So I say, let me stop my jokes because I joke and clown a lot. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went
Of course.
on.
Of
I
course.
was like, hey man, shit, don't say that. I say, and then I spoke his future. I
Mhm.
said, because he used to down the radio station DJs because he wasn't a radio station DJ.
Right.
He
Right.
tried to make it look like he never wanted to be one. Oh, he just getting his props because he with the radio and this and that. I'm better than him. He's just with the radio. And then I said, and I still got the text somewhere. I said, you'll be on the radio. I said, you're gonna be very popular. I'm giving him all encouragement. I said, you're gonna be able to do this, do that, do this, do that. Everything I said he'll be doing, he is doing today. I spoke it in 2019. Here it is, 2022, and he's doing everything I said. And I got the text message to prove it.
Right.
So and we talk about it all the time. I say,
Yeah.
you're gonna be on that radio. You're gonna be on it. I don't really want to do radio. Now he's so happy to be on the radio.
Be
I
on ready.
knew that's
Yeah.
what he wanted.
Yeah.
I knew that's what he
Yeah.
wanted,
You
but
saw
he
it. You
felt
saw
like
it
he'll
in.
never reach it.
Yeah.
So it was I call it the fox and the sour grape.
Sour grapes. Yeah.
That fox jumped up, he couldn't get them grapes. He kept
Right.
missing and missing. He could never touch them. So he
Right.
said they probably was sour anyway.
Right.
And
Right.
so that's how he was with the radio. Yeah, they on radio. They got him in the club because he with the radio, man. I ain't got to do radio. I'm this, I'm that. But the fact that he kept speaking on it, I knew he really wanted to be on the radio.
Right.
So
Right.
now he's a hot DJ on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah,
spoke
man.
that. I saw that and spoke that. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of times encouraging words, people need that. And the people who mostly um don't have self-love, they wasn't taught self-love as a child.
Right.
either the parent was working too hard, or or passed away at a
Yeah.
critical time in their life, but they wasn't taught self-love.
You know,
Where
yeah, that is powerful. Not to cut you off. Go ahead and finish your point.
no, my folks taught me self-love.
Right.
And that's the difference in me and the way I view everything. And it takes people who didn't grow up like I did, that I'm close
Yeah.
to show me that everybody don't have
Right.
self-love.
See, and
Because I'm thinking,
yeah,
move
yeah,
on. It happened. They just a person,
yeah,
move on. That person not your friend anymore. Hey, there's more people out there. You got yourself, but it's not that easy for everybody. They lose a friend. A friend say, well, I don't want to be your friend no more. They crying,
yeah,
they depressed.
yeah.
Me, I'm
That
like, that's just
rejection.
one less person to mess with.
Yeah,
Move on to the next.
that
Because
rejection.
I don't connect to people
Right.
like that. It
Right.
may stun me because I'm not gonna say I'm like Superman and just bounce off like bullets,
Like, what? Yeah.
but it don't
But you back to the
affect me.
business. Yeah.
I'm back to the business. I think about it for a few days. I may even mention it for a couple of days, maybe a week. Well, shit, they ain't called me no more. And then I delete the number and I move on because I have self-love. And I always do things by my mentality. You're born by yourself, you go die by yourself. But that's just me, you
Right.
know.
I think that even as children, our definition of love, I know coming up with a single mother, what I understood of love was hugs and kisses, the lights on, food in my stomach, clothes on my back. Because it seems that when I'm growing up as an adult, I felt that if I didn't receive what my mother showed me, not the houses or the warmth, but the acceptance, I felt it wasn't love. But when I'm around men, men love different. Men love you by telling you the truth. Men love you by telling you straight up what you need to do, how you need to do it, and get it done and staying on you. But it took me some time as an adult to really know how a man loves. And I think a lot of
Because
times
you grew up with your
I
mom,
grew
you
up
were
with a single
single.
mother, so I knew the
Right.
feminine side of hugs and kisses. But when it was offensive when I seen how a man loved because he stayed on me. But that was the
Mm-hmm.
best thing for me. And I think that a lot of times as black men, especially black men, that we're taught to suck it up. You hurting, hide it. You don't sit there and
Mm-hmm.
cry, moan, and gripe because you're hurting. And I think a lot of times we even suffer with all types of ailments because as children we taught to suck it up. You're a man. You ain't no little
Mm-hmm. On the
girl.
same note, on the
Yeah,
same note, I mean, I raised mine like that.
yeah.
We
No, no,
men, we not
but
finna be
yeah,
complaining. No,
yeah,
no, I'm saying women complain, but I'm
yeah,
saying the way we do it though, they express themselves. That's
yeah,
the difference.
yeah.
They allowed, and I was allowed to express myself,
Right, right,
but expressing myself was a substitute for crying.
right.
And so when somebody do something that I don't like,
Hmm.
instead of pouting and crying, I
Right,
express myself.
right,
My sons are outspoken.
right,
I'm outspoken.
right,
And they be like, man, we just act that was an accident. I understand that, but don't step on my foot anymore. That it
right,
hurt when you step
right,
on
right.
my foot and
But
you give me an
you
excuse.
they have their father in the home to show them that.
Exactly. And
But
see,
when
and
you
I
don't have
and every
right,
household I ever lived in
right,
had a
man,
mother figure and a father figure, a
right,
man of the house.
right, right,
And they didn't, and every man I stayed with, every
didn't
man in
play
my
it.
family are real men.
Right, they
They
didn't.
those 50, 60, and 70s men.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They got the respect from the wife. They got the
right,
respect from the coworker. They got the
right,
respect from the brothers and sisters while they still respected their mother and their fathers. So
right,
it's all about respect.
right, right,
And I can't stay in an environment where I'm not respected. I
right,
don't care how much I love somebody. I don't care if it's my mom, my dad, my brother. if it's disrespect anywhere in that facility towards me,
To
I
move on.
can't be there. I gotta move on. And I got no problem leaving what I leave behind.
See, and I
You
ask
know?
those questions, and I ask those questions as a foundation for your perspective in life on how you dealt with rejection and how you had to handle people in a way of letting them down, but kind of doing it easy and they can accept it. Now we gonna move on to the workplace
Mm-hmm.
because the workplace is different because the workplace is like your second home.
Right.
What I've experienced being here in Dallas is that you work with people, and of course we work with the opposite sex. I work
Right.
around, but you work around people that you see every day, but may not pay attention to. You just move on. But as
Right.
you get around people, because you with them more than you are your family, a lot of times based on how you work, you can start developing relationships with those
Mm-hmm.
people on the job.
They
So
become your second family.
become your second family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, feelings can develop. Uh, the way a person look at you, you may not look at that person that way, but you seen that person funny. They fun to be around. You didn't know they was like this, and you're on the job, and all of a sudden your mind is entertaining this person you thought less about, but your
Mm-hmm.
mind is entertaining this person. Now, here it is, you on a job, and you thinking about this person. You may be in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship with somebody, or that person may be in a relationship with somebody. Some people, a lot of times, it's played out. You see the drama on the job. This man, this woman here fighting on the job. Two women fighting on the job over this man, and all
Right.
three
A
of them,
whole married man.
he a whole married man, and all of them too. You know,
Right.
everybody married.
Yeah.
So, how were you able to navigate in the workplace dealing with women and men that probably kind of was green in the eye towards you, like he think he all that. So how did you deal with navigating in the workplace?
In the
How,
workplace,
how do you
from
deal with
my experience working at
it?
the Chases and the CenturyLinks and different places like that, um, a male and a female may attract each other, whether it's the boss in them or the leader in them. They may navigate as you help people. She may look at you as a strong male that's lacking in whoever her mate is. He may look at her as a understanding, listening female that's lacking in his relationship. So they come close together and they work good together. The company see they work good together. They pair them up all the time on projects and this and that. And so I tease people all the time, and I'd be like, "That's your work boyfriend. That's your work husband,
Right.
because you're always together. People see them together. They lunch together. They at each other's desk all the time. When somebody take a break, they take breaks together because they're sharing information,
Right.
whether they're talking about their personal life or on the job. They're paired. So we'd be like, "Hey, that's your work husband. That's your work boyfriend. That's your work girlfriend. That's your work wife." So that's all part of the work relationship. But when you're happy at home,
Mm.
that's not a problem.
Mm.
Uh, when that happens, is something lacking at home. And I'm learning a lot as I grow in my relationship.
Right.
Um, Temptation is not as hard as I thought it was.
Right.
Once you're content and happy where you are, temptation isn't
Wow.
a factor.
Man,
It's
come
not
on.
a factor.
Come
You
on.
choose what you want to do.
Right.
And so, but there have been in the past where you just not happy. And a lot of times I forced myself to be in relationships
Mm-hmm.
that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in.
Right.
And the way you know you don't supposed to be in those relationships is everything you see, there's some temptation there.
Right.
And you like, but you block it out, you block it out. One or two, you may bite that apple. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But if you always looking for something else to eat, that means you're hungry at home.
Right.
And so that's how you have to deal with the workplace. People gonna admire you, people gonna not like you. You just gotta be firm and stand on who you are and what you believe in. That's why I say if it's that self-love, you don't care what's going on in the workplace
Right.
because you love yourself.
Right.
That's is everything gonna lead back to that self-love. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't love yourself, you really can't really survive in this world. You'll get gobbled up because man, this world is
And it's
cruel.
cold. And it's cold.
This is a
Cold.
dog eat. It's work. We used to say cutthroat back in the early 2000s.
And
It's
dog eat
way
dog. And dog
cutthroat.
eat
Dog
dog.
eat dog. Dog
Yeah.
eat dog was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Cutthroat was in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
This world don't give a damn about you now, man. It's all about them.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So uh,
So
on that workplace, man, you gotta once you have knowledge of self and you love yourself, you can deal with the wolves that's out there, and you choose your destinations, you choose your temptations. But you can get tired up. Um, you got to know how to let people down when they coming on too strong.
mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of lonely women out there now. Women are lonely. You know, there's more vulnerable men and lonely women out there now.
Right.
It's crazy. And the ones that's not gay are playing both sides of the fence, are not in jail, are not dead. They tend to be vulnerable. They'll fall for any woman out there. Same thing with the women. It's crazy.
Right.
So when you catch that person coming on a little bit too strong and you want to keep that relationship on a friend level, is ways you gotta see the signs and address it right then and be
What's
like, no,
coming
I
on?
think
What's coming on too strong? How, but give me an
um
example for in finessing it.
okay.
Yeah, for
The
the
key
finesse
the
that.
key thing you have to notice is when they start questioning other females that's coming around you.
Right.
Before that, though, they're gonna notice when you miss a day at work.
Right.
First, they're gonna notice when you miss a day at work, and then they're gonna be like, "Well, I didn't see you yesterday." Or if you just to say you take vacation, they don't have your phone number yet. You take 3 days off. I thought you had quit. I ain't see you for 3 days. That mean they looking for you. Then let a female from another department, or they see you walking in work with another female more than one time. Oh, I thought you was talking to her. I thought she was your girlfriend. I thought y'all had something going. All of those are signs that that person liked you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was looking for you, but I figured you was with Sharon. Y'all came to work the other day together. I didn't know if y'all spent the night together or not.
Mm-hmm.
Those the ones that like you. So when you see that, you be like, no. And then when they keep coming around, either you start avoiding them in a nice way, acting like you're busy, not going in your usual spots.
Right.
Or if they keep on saying, you say, why you say that? You know what I'm saying? You know, you ask them, why you questioning who I'm with and different things like that. Now I was just wondering, be like, you my friend, and I value your friendship, but I don't think as a friend you need to be questioning who I'm with.
Right.
And that's a nice way of letting them down
Yeah.
if they get that message. But if they just keep on doing stuff for you, you got to cut that short. Be like,
Right.
no,
Right. Right. Right.
you know,
How is men the same way? Because I know the natures are different. So do men tend to uh come on the coming on strong in the same way, or
oh yes, no,
how
no, no.
how
Men,
does a
men
man
are more, men are more aggressive.
okay.
Now you have the aggressive female, but the male, he's gonna be a tad bit more aggressive.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, and he can know she got somebody.
Right.
He'll make little jokes. I bet your man don't do this, and and he'll bring a lunch. You know, may even she have a bad day at work, he'll send some flowers or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's over there a couple of hours out the next day and say, yeah, I sent the flowers. I saw you was kind of down. Oh, you sent those? You know, so he's gonna play off of the emotions because a woman is an emotional creature.
Right.
something to eat, flowers, compliments.
Hmm.
And if she getting too many compliments from this guy and he doing too much, that's a backup. And if he always asking about her boyfriend or husband, oh, he ain't do this for you. I thought he was gonna drop you off today. Your husband didn't drop you off today. Was that your husband in the car with you today?
Right. Right.
That's somebody who's
Right. You got to
interested.
kind of,
And
yeah.
if you happy in your relationship, or if you married, period, even if you unhappy in it, you still married. It's time for you to address that and be like, why are you asking me about my husband?
Right.
Why are you asking me that? You
Hmm.
know, so yeah, it's lines that be crossed a lot in the workplace. But if you're happy at home, it's easy to get it contained. But when you're single and you may not know how to let a person down easy because you're single,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
you
I mean,
know.
just being a single man, uh, and dealing in that experience, because you don't want to build a reputation of, oh, he don't like women, or he think he too much, and that's not necessarily the case. It's just, if a person is not
Well,
tight, if a person is not too tight, you know, the thing that I struggle with is, uh, finessing it instead of just being straight up. I just go straight to it. And it ain't necessarily always the case, because you can have this person like you, and you can build resentment in that person towards you because of how you turned them down, or
and that's why I
felt
say
they felt
address it.
they feel rejected because you didn't think in your mind, hey, I just look at you as a friend, but you telling that to somebody that really like you. How that make them feel in the inside. You know what I'm saying? So
That's why you got to look for the
yeah,
signs.
yeah,
You got to know those signs.
yeah.
I mean, and these days you have to kind of be more straightforward, but in a nice way.
Right.
Like, no, you done fell in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? That'd be okay. So when it's going on so much, let's just say they buy you cologne, bring you lunch,
Right.
and they always coming around in your face. There you go buying me stuff. You must really like me. Yeah,
Hmm.
you cool people. I just figured maybe, when you ready to find somebody, I could be, somebody you think about. No, you a good friend. We done fell in that friend zone. I see you as a friend. You like a sister to me,
Right.
or a cousin. So,
Right.
I don't want to ruin what we have, because in a relationship, we fall out. You may hate me, and I may hate you, but right now we in a good place, and I kind of want to keep us where we at. Had we not fell in the friend zone, ain't no telling. But you my friend now. I see you like family. I wouldn't even feel right. I feel weird. I feel weird holding your hand right now. And that's a cool way. Well, I don't see you like that. Well, I'm sorry. That's how I see you, and I just can't get past that. But you good people.
Yeah, it,
You
it,
like
it can
family.
be tough sometimes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's necessary.
Mhm.
It's
But
necessary.
yeah, and you said it in a nice way. That's better than saying you not my type, and we don't rock like that. You ain't my cup of tea. Get real. All that old the stuff that the women used to say to the guys all the time.
Right.
That ain't, we don't rock like that. I don't see you like that. Don't
Right.
nobody want to hear that. Just say you a friend. We fell in the friend zone. We messed up and fell in that friend zone.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to let them down easy on the workplace, in the workplace.
Right.
We fell in that friend zone.
Right.
And I see you as a friend. You just like a man, you the sister I never had. You the
Right.
cousin I never had.
Let me
You
ask
know.
this. Let me ask this. How do a person? I'm single. Single man.
Right.
As a man, how do you see somebody you interested on the job? Because, okay, let's the flip side. You see somebody you interested on the job,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all have a relationship. How do you avoid, you want to take something further with this person? Y'all cool. Y'all see it like that. how do you avoid getting in the friend zone? And you find yourself getting in friend zones on the male side with women, and you struggle with finding somebody
Hey,
because you land in the friend zone. So, what things you should do to get in the friend zone with a woman if you're interested in?
and
What
it's ironic that you asked that because I avoid the friend zone all the time, especially
right,
with somebody I like. I'm not gonna get in no friend zone.
right,
I talk about people that end up in that friend zone because
right,
I always be straightforward.
right,
When you see you slipping, the way you can tell you slipping in their friend zone, they tend to want to tell you about their boyfriends, their ex-boyfriends. You turn into that friend, that
right,
sissy friend. You turn
right,
into you that's that friend zone because she feel comfortable talking to you about the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend that's still trying to come by and have sex with her
right,
and all that. I don't care to hear it. If I like you, I ain't trying to hear about no other guy that you smashing. I don't want to
mm-hmm,
hear that. So you
right,
stop them and be like, hey, now, don't, I ain't really trying to hear that. I said, you're gonna be told me something, and then I'm not gonna want to talk to you no more.
right,
You got to just slip in that you're interested in them. You got to let them know
mm-hmm,
from the jump, from the jump. But it's cool if they in a relationship and they talking to you as a confidant per se,
yeah,
and you see that they're about to get out of that relationship, if she say, I can't take this no more, I'm tired of this and blah, 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 and you interested, then that's your time, your cue to let her know you interested. Because if you don't, she gonna keep on talking, and you're gonna end up helping them get back together.
right, 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 right,
So you gotta stop that and just be forward. I mean, and with time being short as it is now, people dropping left and right more than ever,
yeah,
it's best you just be straightforward. You know what I'm saying? When you see that you drift into the friend zone and that's not the place you want to be, say, hey, you know, I'm digging you. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling you. So, you know,
right,
whatever you're going through with him, I don't really care to hear that because I'm trying to see where we going. And
right.
then that's for her to say yay or nay.
Yeah, yeah, Nate. Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
she know at
So
least where you're coming from.
exactly. Because if
Mm,
you just sitting there, man, and you're gonna end up hooking her up with your buddy that's working with you on the job. She goes, yeah, that guy, Brian, he nice, man. Tell man, that dude, they're tight. Now there you go. Knowing you crushing, got to go set up with somebody else who's gonna be busted. So nah, just be straightforward and be like, hey, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? Do I have a chance with you? And all the stuff I'm saying, I learned this stuff at a young age. I'm talking about 16,
right.
17 years old. I just be like, it is what it is. Let me ask you this: do you think I will ever get together? You know what I'm saying? And they just say,
And then you
well,
lay it out.
yeah,
They just lay it out
just
right
lay it out.
there. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
And if
So,
they play you to the left, you already know y'all already friends. So you just, then you have to just tough it up and hook up with your cousin. You know what I'm saying? And like, hey, she like you.
right, right, right.
Every now and then you can throw your little line in there when y'all alone and she vulnerable, and you may lug up, but 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 as far as y'all being an item, you can pretty
Yeah,
much cancel that if you fall in that friend zone. But that's
yeah,
a wrap. But nowadays, with this being a sex society,
yeah.
you can almost you can almost pretty much if you got your ducks in a row and you saying the right things, and you can pretty much do whatever with that friend now. But back in the gap, friend zone meant friend zone.
Friends out. Yeah.
Today,
It's
today
benefit.
you
Yeah,
drink,
it's
you
benefit.
drink, get them some wine and a 20 sack blunt or something,
Right,
and that best friend become your bed friend.
right,
You
right,
know. So yeah, it's a different generation now. But for the single guy, go for what you want. You know what I'm saying? Stop settling. If you like them, just ask them. The a lot of women may not take to the aggressive male. So you just start out by giving them your number. Hey, here go my number. I think you cute, whatever. I like this and that about you. Here go my number. You get a break. Give me a call.
right, right, right.
You know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yes, but yeah, you got to speak your mind. The key
Right,
thing is speaking your mind.
right, man. I think that I think that's a good key thing because I know that I've been a victim of being
Right,
in, of being in the friend zone a lot. So
right.
I didn't know what I was doing to get in the friend zone, but now I'm kind of gaining the understanding that you really just got to be straight up.
Yeah, you got to be straight up. You
On
can't.
how you feel. Yeah, on how you feel.
You
Yeah,
got to
and
speak your mind.
then you gotta you get then at least you know where you stand with that person. That person not
Right.
interested. At least you know where you stand. It may sting a little bit, but at least you know where y'all stand, and then it's your choice if you want to be petty and not be friends with them.
No,
That's on you.
actually,
You know.
but being that falls back to self love. This one should have been called self love.
Yeah.
When you love yourself,
Right.
rejection is motivation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When she rejects you, that would motivate me to go and get somebody that I feel looks better than her, that
Right.
I feel is a better rank than her. I'm
Right.
gonna outdo her. So when she see me a couple of weeks, a month, or some months later, oh, so you going with Sierra? That's who you talk to now, and now she feeling some type of way. So I never looked at rejection as something to hold my head down. It's like I'm gonna show you I can find better. That was just how I grew up, though. It
Right.
don't None of that stuff bothers me. It's like, okay, I'm gonna show you that's your loss. In all my relationships, I let the women break up with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do the breaking up. I could be done with the relationship, but I'm gonna string that joke out till she get tired and she slip off and she leave me. So
Right.
when they see me a month later, 3 months later, a year later, oh, that's who he talking to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So those were that stuff motivation to me because I know who I am, I know my worth, I love myself,
Right.
and it's no problem. Moving on to the next.
Right.
You may miss what you have for a little while, but all I need to see is the person who left me happy or angry with me to the fact that they don't want to deal with me anymore. That
Right.
makes it easier for me to go ahead and just move on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I move on, I'm gonna move up.
Right. Right. Right.
That's just me.
If you move on, you're gonna move up.
I'm moving up. I
Mm-hmm.
ain't finna be the same. I'm not finna go under. I'm
So
gonna move
rejection
up.
for you. So rejection for you is a tool.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
tool of
motivation,
motivation.
man.
Yeah, it's
I
motivation.
love it. Even when friends walk out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna find a smarter friend or a friend that got more money, and we finna do more bigger things.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't attach myself to people,
Right. Right.
and that's the problem with a lot of people. They depend on people to make them feel validated. I never had to do that.
Right.
I
Right.
never did that. My motto was always one monkey don't stop no show.
Right.
And when I was doing my dances, I had to prove that. My
Mm-hmm.
door person dipped out on me, didn't even show up, wasn't trying to show up. I put my music on, I lined up a whole bunch of hits. I took my money up at the door, closed the door, lined up another 15 hits, ran back to the door, opened it back up, started back taking my own money. So I
Yeah.
held my door and I DJ'd at the same time at my own event.
Right. Right. Right.
One monkey, not gonna stop no show. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, me closing that door for that 10 minutes
Yeah.
made the crowd look even bigger
Swell.
because the door
Yeah.
was closed. And they
Yeah.
seen the crowd standing out there. So the people who was rolling through the park seeing that crowd,
Right.
oh man, it must be jumping.
Yeah.
I was letting 20 and 30 in at a time. Close the door, run back there.
Boom.
Close the door, run back there.
Yeah. The
And
big
then
show.
I got
Yeah. Three,
when
four,
I
five
got so
other people
many
in there.
when I got so many in there, I just closed the door because I really didn't care then because I made the money I wanted to make. So at that time, I just let them open the door. In the last hour and a half, I DJ'd.
Right. Right. Right.
But
Right.
one monkey didn't stop the show.
Then
Self
stop the
love, man.
show.
Don't
Self
let don't
love.
let nobody stop what you got going on.
That's it. That's it. Man,
Yeah.
we gonna wrap this up. Um, we just dealt with the art of the letdown, how to handle rejection. I
Right.
hope that you're able to take away, and I'm speaking to the audience. I hope you're able to take away what the discussion had. We just had this discussion because I've learned a lot that you can take away something that don't cause you to make you feel like it's the end of the world because somebody don't
Yeah.
want you. A lot of
Because
times they can do you a favor.
depression is at an all-time high right now.
It is. And
Depression is at an all-time high.
Especially among
And
black
if a person walks out of your life and you know you haven't done anything to that person, keep in mind I say if you know you haven't done anything to that person, let them leave.
Right.
It's 2022. No longer should you be running behind somebody or begging somebody to be in your life.
That's
whether
right.
it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's people you grew up with from being from 6 years old.
Right.
If they want to walk out your life, let them.
Right.
The Creator is giving you that headspace, giving you that space to live your life.
Right.
And everybody you can't take with you. Some people you have to leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
For your growth.
Great people.
For your blessing. You outgrow.
That's
you know, like Juvenile, the realest thing Juvenile said in that song, you a paper chaser, you got my block on fire, you in the bed. What song was that? What's the name of that? Then something, you making nothing out of something, paper chaser, you got a block. He said,
I forgot this song. I forgot.
But he said, you don't really fuck with them niggas, huh? You grew up with them niggas, huh? So you stuck with them niggas, huh? When he said that, you grew up with them, so you stuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
That got me on that one when he said that.
Right.
That was the realest quote that he said.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that concludes our talk today on Speak On It. And we're dealing with and we dealt with the art of the letdown, how to handle rejection. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to us. Thank everybody for their attentiveness. And the takeaway that I got is that you can take rejection not in a negative way, but you can turn it into a tool for motivation. Because a lot of us, we suffer mentally. We want people in our lives. We want people to pay attention to us. We want people to validate us. But the core thing we want to learn tonight is to have self-worth and validate yourself. You don't need outside validation as long as you got God and He gave you breath in your body, that you are validated. He gave you another chance at life and woke you up this morning. So you had some validation and some value in this life. So take that with you, and we're going to keep on moving, man. I have fun. I'm always having fun talking to DJ Blakk. We got some other things that we're coming up, and we want to thank you all, and y'all have a good night. Peace.